on with dating app, profile writing?
Yeah, so not that much has been going on at Clubhouse. We had a really good room in the Emotion Club on Sunday that was fantastic. And I'm doing a show on Sunday in the Single Over 50 room, which is the room that I created, called Share Your Worst Date Ever. And so it's three Jewish women fetching, cafelling, verklemting, everything that we're going to be doing, talking over each other as most Jewish women do. And we're going to ask people to come up and share their worst date ever. So it should be a lot of fun.
How much time do people get for this story? Because I have a really good one, but I need a solid half an hour.
I don't think we're going to have that long, Dr. Jacalyn.
I know.
It may turn out to be one of those 24-hour rooms that go on, but probably 2 hours max. That doesn't mean that you'll be able to take up the 2 hours. There you go. So yeah, we'll limit the shares to 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll have to make comments, of course.
That sounds like a fun place to be. And that's Sunday, you said, yes?
Sunday, yep. 2:30 p.m. Central Standard, 3:30. Right when the trick-or-treaters are going to be arriving.
You know what? You'll love this. We've got a great guest, by the way. I want our audience to know that. We're going to be bringing him out shortly. So Sunday is Halloween. And of course, this has nothing to do with dating. But my mother and I are going to don wigs. We will be wearing wigs, very long, sexy, attractive wigs. And we're going to be getting dressed up in Halloween costumes, my mother and me. How about that?
How great is that? The great thing about Clubhouse is we can wear our sweatpants and sweatshirts, and we can just say that we're going as people who work at home, right?
Exactly. It sounds like a fun time. So everybody go over to Clubhouse on Sunday and join Lori's room. Lori, our guest today, his name is Cheyenne Bostock, and he is a life and relationship expert. And he is going to talk about how to attract your ideal mate. So we're going to bring him on, but let's share a little bit. I'll do the same, and he's listening backstage, and maybe he can help us with this. What's your idea of your ideal mate?
Do you want a description of what he's like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like a minute of information, because when Cheyenne comes out, maybe he's going to have some suggestions for us.
You mean I don't have a half an hour to say?
If I don't have it on Clubhouse, you don't have it now? No, sorry.
No, I do have it. What I want is a man who is kind, honest, filled with integrity, who has a big open heart, who isn't necessarily drop-dead gorgeous and self-consumed, and who has done work on himself and who is ready to get involved in a relationship where it is reciprocal, that it is equal, that it's not all about him and it's not all about me, and we grow together. That's what I'm looking for. What about you, Dr. Jacalyn?
I am not looking, as you know, but when I will be looking, I want a man who is heart-centric. I've been with a lot of capitalists, and I am sick of it, done with it. I don't want to hear about how much money you make and how much this you have and how much that you have. I want to hear how many people you've helped. I want to hear how much you're donating. That's what I want to hear. And I have to be honest, there has to be chemistry. There has to be some kind of spark. I like someone who is interested in self-care. So not only physically, but also mentally. Maybe they meditate, they do yoga, they take care of themselves, and they support me instead of trying to change me. Because I've gone out with a number of men. This is it. You see what you're getting, and then they want to change it. I don't want you working. I don't want you wearing that. I don't want you doing this. So bye-bye to all of you. Okay. Yeah. Now we've put that out there. Let's bring our guest. Cheyenne Bostock is joining us live. Hi.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show. Nice to meet you both.
Hi, Cheyenne. Do you have your
Where are you joining?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. That's where I currently am right now.
I love New York. Business Talk Radio, which we're on now, they're out of New York as well. So Long Island. Awesome. So Cheyenne, tell us about this. You heard a little bit about what Lori and I are looking for. And before we get to that, what made you get interested in this line of work?
That's an interesting question. Back when I was in college, my best friends and I, we all were wildly successful with women and friendships and relationships. And we just had a certain swag about us, a certain energy. And, it just translated into sports, relationships, friendships, dating. And I told my friends back when I was in college, I said, we need to write a book about this stuff. And they never wrote the book, but I did. So I started writing when I was in college. And I never used that material from that book, but I did always have it in the back of my mind that I want to help these young ladies get it right. Because my boys and I, we would talk about dating, we would talk about women in relationships, and the way we would speak would be like, if they would just make this little tweak, or if they did this, then we might want to pursue something long term with them. But my ultimate goal was to help women to attract their ideal mate, because as we know, sometimes you can do the right thing for the wrong person, and I want to help the people who are listening to prevent that from happening to them.
I have a question. I gotta jump in here. Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm.
What about men doing the same for women? What I have to ask you, why do women need to learn how to attract a man? Whereas, many of us who are dating say, where are these guys who know how to ask questions and are engaged in conversation and who are interested in me versus completely self-absorbed and misogynistic? Where are these guys, rather than us needing to train, to adjust to them? You know where I'm going with this?
Absolutely. And you asked a few different, very important questions. If I could just take one of them at a time, I would love that. So the first question was, where are the lessons for men? Yeah. If I understood you correctly, where are the lessons for men on how to attract the women? Did I get that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, here's the reality. Women are everywhere. Quality, educated, successful, fit, beautiful, all shapes and sizes. Y'all are everywhere. We don't really have to look far, and we don't have to try hard, because there are so many women who are ready and eager to be in a relationship, ready and eager to go out on a date, ready and eager to get married. We can literally just snap our finger and make it happen. So it's, even if we had a broken magnet, we would still attract women, because there's just so many of you. And also, we don't have the same type of standards that women have. We look for totally different things. And I wrote a book about this. It's called Food, Sex, and Peace of Mind: What a Woman Needs to Know to Keep a Man. Men are quite simple. Those three things are what men are looking for: food, sex, and peace of mind. A woman, however, she's a little bit more picky. So that might explain why a lot of women are single, because they have a certain level of standards and a certain level of requirements. That's the first part. And then the other part is, some people are underqualified for the type of man that they're trying to attract. And sometimes they're overqualified for the type of men that they're given a chance. And I always tell women that not every man gets a date. Not every man is worthy. Not every man is going to be compatible with you, but it's your life. The difference between men and women when it comes to relationships is, a man can be in a relationship for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and be totally satisfied. But the woman is unfulfilled. She's unhappy, and she's resentful and bitter and angry and frustrated. And she doesn't know what to do. And there's a lot of women in that situation. The guy's like, yeah, I'm getting food. Yeah, I'm getting sex. Yeah, I'm getting peace of mind. But she's miserable. So that's why I focus a lot of my attention, my time and attention, on helping the women to attract exactly what they want, because us men are getting what we want. We've been getting what we want. It's time for the women to get a win.
Okay, so the women need to just lower their standards, in other words.
Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying lower your standards. I'm saying to have standards. Like when she just asked you, when Dr. Jacalyn just asked you what it is that you want, and you were able to clearly communicate to her exactly what you want, I think that's great. That's what I do with a lot of my clients. And what I find when working with my clients is they cannot communicate what they want as clearly and concisely as you just did.
Mhm.
And that's what's blocking them from getting what they truly want, because what happens is a fit, handsome, educated, well-spoken, charming guy comes along and she's like, oh, that's him. That's the one. That's the guy I want. And then she starts sleeping with him, and then they start spending time together, living together, all of these different things. And then this is where something in her gut tells her this is not the one. But how will you know if he's the one or not if you never created a list of the things that you actually want?
I felt like you were speaking right to me, because that's I've definitely had that happen to me. What a great package! This is amazing. And then, months into it, a year into, like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Right. Right. I mean, it's no different from accepting a job that pays you a load of money, but it's unfulfilling. Let's say you're an artistic person and they say, I'm going to pay you $100,000 for you to take on this position. We want you to work 40 hours a week. You don't get to tap into any of your artistic flair or creativity. We want to stick you in the cubicle, but don't worry. We're going to give you dental, health, and lots of bonuses. What they're doing is they're separating you from what you actually want, all because of these benefits that you think you're going to receive. And the same thing happens in dating and relationships. You see with your eyes, oh, this guy has a car. This guy has a nice house. Oh, he's respected in the community. Oh, he's successful. Oh, he takes care of his body, and he's super educated and well-spoken. And you think that that man is for you just because he looks so good in person and on paper. But that doesn't mean that he's the right person for you. The right person for you is the person that you create in your heart and mind. You say, this is the type of person that I want. And when you're thinking about the person that you want, you also want to become the person that's most compatible with the person that you want to manifest and attract. So when you're becoming that person, you're going to meet the person that you want to attract on that path. And there are so many single women who have no path at all. They're just taking whatever they can get. They're accepting whatever falls in front of them. It's like crumbs. They're just taking the crumbs instead of building themselves up to attract the full course.
I love that. I always say, I want a full plate. I don't want crumbs.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Cheyenne. I'm thinking about this celebrity power couple. They were engaged and they broke up, and now she's with someone else. And I don't know if you know what I mean, but seemingly they had everything. They're both gorgeous, talented, rich, parents. And I think to myself, how could you two not be able to make it? Like, what else could possibly be out there? So I think that, at least for me, if I look at the superficial package that I had in my mind for so long, for so many years, it explains why I was never happy and why I'm still single.
Absolutely. And a lot of people do it. And what I always start with when I'm talking to my clients, I want to know, what qualities do you look for in a man? What do you absolutely need? Something that you cannot live without. It takes my clients quite a bit of time to do this homework because they've never answered these questions for themselves. They just go with the flow, which is a recipe for disaster. You need to know exactly what's important to you. Some people, they just go out there, they just date anybody just for a free meal, just for free drinks, just for attention and to soak up his energy. Meanwhile, you're wasting your quality time with someone that you don't even want, someone that you're not even attracted to, when you could be on a date with someone that is in alignment. And so I have this book, Dating Manual for Single Women, 30 steps to take before a first date. The way I came up with the concept for this book is you need to figure out if this person is right for you before the first date. Now, I had personal experience with this where I've had a woman tell me, oh, I need to get to know you. We need to go out on a few dates before we can do X, Y, Z. And in my mind, all that's telling me is she's not that into me. she's not attracted to me. There's no sexual chemistry here. And I don't waste my time because I also have experience where the sparks are just there from the very beginning, or we ask the right questions to see if we're in alignment in some way, shape, or form before we move forward. But what I've been noticing with a lot of my female clients is that they don't ask the right questions. They don't know if he lives by himself, if he lives with his mom, is he has a roommate, is he unemployed, does he take care of his children, does he have children, is he in a relationship, has he slept with any of your friends? All of these questions are in the dating manual because it gives women a guideline, because some don't know what questions to ask, and they think that 30 questions is a lot. 30 steps is a lot. I say 30 steps in the right direction is better than 100 steps in the wrong direction. And if you pick up the phone and you just ask the right questions when you meet a guy, you can figure out whether or not he's even worth that first date. But a lot of women are afraid to take this step because they know in that phone call, there might be something that causes them to not go out on their first date. So they're operating from a scarcity mindset. And I tell women, you need to have, this is also in the dating manual, date multiple men at once. This way, if you met 5 new guys, today's Thursday, right? If you've met 5 new guys, you have to be prepared to release those 5 guys just as quickly as you receive them. What does that look like? Okay, you want to get married. You want to have children. You want to live together. You want to travel. And you want to be vegan. Let's say those are the 5 things. So you meet 5 guys. This guy doesn't want to get married. Bye-bye. This guy doesn't want to have children. Bye-bye. This guy doesn't have a passport. Bye-bye. This one is a meat eater. Bye-bye. This one is doesn't want to live together. Now you got 5 guys in on Thursday and 5 guys out simply from having standards. But guess what? Another 5 guys are coming tomorrow. So don't be afraid to release the 5 guys that are absolutely wrong, because you're getting ready to replace them with more men. It's an abundance mindset that every single man has to adopt.
I have to applaud that. I think that is excellent. And you know what? I'm going to embarrass myself by saying this, but it's true. I wouldn't ask certain questions because I didn't want to know the answer. Because if I knew the answer, then that would mean I couldn't see the guy, and I really was attracted to him. So I thought, I'm just not going to ask. It's so stupid.
No.
Yep, you got it holds you accountable. It holds you accountable.
Yeah.
I ask the first 10 minutes. I don't ask. I say, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for X, Y, Z. Where are you on this? The first call is no more than a 15 to 30-minute call, followed up by a Zoom or a FaceTime call. And then we go out. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to go out if there's no chemistry, if we're not on the same page. Cheyenne, you're absolutely right. The one thing that I wanted to comment on was that women should not be going out just to go out. I think that our time is far more precious. And also we as women need to, we have these lists of what these perfect guys are. How do we mirror that? What are we putting out? What are we giving? How are we coming across? If these guys are available and ready to us, can we match them in that? That's what we as women need to work on.
That is the key. So I want to address 2 things really quickly before I forget. The first thing is, and I think a lot of women do this, and I would just tweak it just a little bit, and that's avoid telling a man what you're looking for or what you want, because if you do that, you set yourself up for manipulation. So if you tell them you want a good Christian man who wants to get married and all of that stuff, and then he'll start to try to become that person that he'll try to become the blueprint that you've just pretty much laid out for him. Instead, what I would do is I would simply ask him questions to see what he openly and freely says to you. For example, if you want to get married, say, how do you feel about marriage? If you want to have kids, how do you feel about kids? If you want to move in together before marriage, how do you feel about moving in before marriage? You just ask these questions to see exactly how he thinks without your prompting. You understand?
Good point.
And then there was another thing. I'm trying to remember the last thing that you said. that I wanted to touch on. It'll come to me later.
Well, which is that we need to be, we're asking for all these things for men. How
There
are
it
we
is.
meeting the men there? If we want
Thank
this
you.
perfect man, how are we going to be the perfect woman? What
Thank
are we working on?
Thank you. And I think that what I'm getting ready to say is going to help a lot of women out there. You have to get realistic with yourself. You have to look in the mirror. For example, I use myself. All right. If I say I want a black woman, I just happen to be a black man. Isn't it so easy to attract what you are? I'm fit. So I can say I want a fit woman. I qualify because I'm fit. If I say I want a woman who is 5'11" or below, look at that. I'm 5'11". Would you believe that? If I say I want an American woman, a woman who's born in the United States, I just happen to be born in the United. I'm everything that I'm asking for. I qualify for everything that I'm asking for.
So I'm 5'3". Does that mean my guy's 5'3"?
If you want a guy that is over 5'3", then consider that a blessing. And when you get a blessing, you honor it. So let's say if I'm not a homeowner and I get with a woman who is a homeowner, then I'm going to celebrate her and honor her for her accomplishments and her achievements and all of the abundance that she brings to my life. Because in that area, we're not equal. She could be dating a homeowner and I'm not, if that's the scenario. So if you are dating someone, if you are 5'3" and you're dating Shaquille O'Neal, who's 7 foot, there are a lot of women who are 5'4", 5'5", 6 foot, 6'5", who are like, why did he choose her? I'm closer in qualifying for that height. You should consider yourself blessed.
That and
really only 5'3".
What's that?
Yes, I'm only 5'3".
Wear heels.
I'm not wearing heels in my studio, but yeah, my heels are 5 or 6 inches. So
Wow.
yes,
There you go. You almost qualify for me.
Fantastic. We have to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors, but this is great conversation. I'm really glad that you're here, Cheyenne. So let's just take a look at one of our sponsors, and I also want to play a music video. So the music video is from Sir Tony Moore in the UK, and it's his version of Route 66. And then we'll hear from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back. Stay with us here on It's All About Dating.
Ours is a world of wonder. Every day it reminds us of its beauty. It touches us, teaches us, and astounds us. But it also warns us that what we throw away does not go away. That higher temperatures mean a lot more than longer summers. That we can no longer take life as we know it for granted. We are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet. And never before have we had the power to do something about that. We face a series of unprecedented
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and also welcome back to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. Our show today is It's All About Dating, and our guest is Cheyenne Bostock, who's joining us from New York. He's written 2 books, and he has a wealth of information on how we can meet our ideal mate. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think it would be great if we started off with seeing your book covers and having you read from them. I think that'd be wonderful. I actually made a banner during the break. So your books, if you could hold them up.
Yeah, so this one is the first book I've written. It's called Food, Sex, and Peace of Mind, What a Woman Needs to Know to Keep a Man. Now, the funny thing about this book is when I first wrote it, the women were asking the same questions as what your co-host asked. Where is the advice for men? Why isn't anyone speaking to the men? And so what I want to encourage the ladies to do is to remember the ultimate goal. Focus on the results. What is it that you want? Do you want more dates? Do you want a relationship? Do you want marriage? Whatever it is that you want, focus on that. And that's what this book does. It helps women to get the W. So ladies, don't worry about if the man is going to get it, because he's going to get it through you. When I coach single women, they get the ultimate advice on how to be the best version of themselves. So when the men come to the women to try to open them up, because a man is more likely to try to open up a woman than open up a book. So you're the coach, ladies. You teach him how to treat you. I teach you how to have standards and requirements so that you can attract your ideal mate. The next book is Dating Manual for Single Women, 30 Steps to Take Before a First Date. This is important, ladies, because this is going to help you to avoid wasting your time on meaningless dates. Let's go to tip number 1. Make sure there's a physical attraction. How many ladies have gone out on dates with guys that they're not attracted to? Now ask yourself, why? Why would you go out on a date with someone that you're not attracted to? It doesn't make any sense. You're wasting your time. And I want to put a complete stop to you wasting your time on future dates. So be sure to go to my website, CheyenneBostock.com/books to pick up this book bundle where you can get Food, Sex, and Peace of Mind and Dating Manual for Single Women.
Thank you, Cheyenne. A couple things come to mind right away based on what we heard from you in the first segment of the show. I've heard this from guys so many times throughout the years. Oh, I want a woman who's 20. Well, you're 50. I want a woman who's got a great body. You're overweight. This has been going on since the beginning of time. And I love what you said about no, you don't actually get to ask for that if you're not putting that out in the world yourself, right?
Right, exactly. And the thing about those types of men is they're willing to pay whatever cost to get those things. So it's kind of like if you're an overweight guy, or if you're an older gentleman and you want a 20-year-old supermodel, that's going to come with Birkin bags, trips, you got to pay her rent, different things like that. So if you're willing to sacrifice that just to get the fit younger girl and you can afford it, I think most guys who are in that position are willing to do it. And for that young 20-year-old, that's a dream come true for the time being. Now, I don't know about longevity, but I think the guy's pretty aware of that. He's not expecting to start a brand new family with this younger. He's just looking for some excitement. He wants to feel young again. Let the guy live.
I remember I was set up with this guy. He lived on Palm Beach, and we went out to dinner. And the first thing he says, I didn't even get to look at the menu. And he said, I just want to let you know, I'll take care of all the shoes and all the bags. You'll have his. And I said, I don't need shoes and bags from you. I want a connection. We don't have to have a connection. Just you'll do what I say, and I'll give you the shoes and the bags. And that was it. I left.
You have his number, Jacalyn.
That was before Dr. Jacalyn became Dr. Jacalyn.
That's right. That's exactly. A lot of learning steps along the way. So
right.
Interesting.
But the thing, the thing is, you have to decide which woman you're gonna be. What he offered you, if you shared that story with a lot of the young 20-year-old girls today, they would say, "Girl, do you still have his number?"
Are you saying that I'm in my 20s, Cheyenne?
Say that again.
What is the age group that you typically coach? I'm curious because my sweet spotter is over 50, and some of the things that you're saying, I'm like, oh God, please no.
Oh, definitely. There's definitely differences when you get into certain age brackets.
Yes.
My age range is typically between 25 and 45.
Okay.
But I do occasionally get seasoned, let's call them seasoned um, individuals coming to me either to share some tips on their experiences or to get a few pointers on how they can get back into the dating scene or just get some type of enjoyment and companionship with the opposite sex. But the thing about the advice that I give is ultimately it's principle based. No matter whether you're straight, gay, male, female, it all starts with you. You have to know exactly who you are and exactly what you want so that you can send that energy and communicate these desires and give someone the opportunity to see if they are in agreement. That's what a relationship is, exchanging value. You first have to know what your value is and then bring that value to the table, and that's where you negotiate.
Thank you, Cheyenne. I have a question in reference to your book, Dating Manual for Single Women, 30 Steps to Take Before the First Date. You just shared tip number 1, and I really agree with that. Over the years, though, many girlfriends, I'm 58, so women in their 50s, let's say, and this was when we were in our 40s, they would say that you don't have to have that attraction. It will grow on you. And I look at them grow, like what, mold? I don't think so. I think it has to
Right.
be there, right?
Exactly. And that is the lie that women are telling themselves and telling their friends. Men, if there's no physical attraction, there is no date. Women call it shallow, women call it vain. We don't care. If there is no physical or sexual attraction, there will be no extension or invitation to a date. Women, they tend to be a little bit more open-minded and hopeful. They're hopeful that over time he'll grow on her, or over time he might miraculously become attractive. No, he will always be Shrek. If he's Shrek from day 1, he'll be Shrek on day 2, 100, and so on until the end of time. You need to be clear about what it is you want and need, because this is going to be the person that you wake up to, go to sleep with, and live your life with, if that's the person you choose as a partner. And I don't know about anybody else, but I want to be attracted physically to my partner. Not only physically attracted, but there has to be a physical attraction.
I agree. And I always knew that there was some masculinity in me, because I've been saying that from day 1, that there has to be an attractive, because I don't know if you've ever felt this, but you're in a relationship with someone, it's not going well, and you look at them and you think, what did I ever see in you? So if you don't see it in day 1, how are you going to see it when times get tough?
Right. And let's not forget about emotional connection, chemistry, a spiritual connection, and compatibility. You want all of these things to be in alignment. And let's not forget about the finances. A lot of people, they just overlook these very, very important things just because the guy's charming. He has a sense of humor. He has a great personality. He's got the gift of gab. He's whispering sweet nothings in your ear. But you just completely forget about the list that we created in the beginning about your standards, the things that are important to you. If they are important to you, you have to stand on that square and not waver from it. So when you meet a guy, he's charming, all these wonderful things. What you want to do with that guy is enjoy him until you no longer want to enjoy him. But if he doesn't meet the standards, you have to understand that this is not someone that you can bring into your future.
And I love how you talked about the 5 guys that come in, and then 5 guys go out, and then more guys come in.
Yes, it's a rotation. I talk about, let's see which dating tip this is in the book, where I say date multiple men at once. And I'm gonna break down why. I even give a breakdown in the book on why that's so important. So dating tip number 7. Date multiple men at once. The ultimate goal is for a man to put a ring on it. If there's no ring on your finger, ladies, you are free to go mingle. While he's making up his mind, figuring out what he's going to do, you should be out on a date with guy number 2. You are free to keep the other admirers around until Mr. Right decides to be exclusive and settle down. There is no shame in having multiple dating options, lady. This is what a rotation is all about. Because again, if you get 5 guys in and those 5 guys are all wrong, you have to be willing, you have to be courageous enough to say, I need to get rid of these 5 guys, and then have an abundance mindset that tells you, I'm going to get 5 new guys before the end of the day.
I love that. We need to have our own rotation, Lori. You get a rotation, I get a rotation. It's fantastic.
Everybody gets a rotation.
I have a rotation.
Oh, Lori has a rotation. Good for you.
Of course I do. I do have a question, Cheyenne. If men truly do want food, sex, and peace of mind, and they're getting that at home, why do they stray?
They have an abundance mindset. There are billions of women in the world. If a man is super successful, wildly successful, I mean, he's killing it in all areas of his life as a single bachelor. When he is introduced to a woman, all he's doing is saying to that woman, this is my lifestyle. Would you like to join me? And she says, yes. And then she starts proving that she can contribute to his already established lifestyle. So he takes her out on dates and she keeps proving herself over time. Then he commits to her as a reward, not because she wants to date. It's because he's rewarding her for being such an amazing contributor to his already amazing life. And so he rewards her with dates. He rewards her with a title. He rewards her with a proposal. And when he proposes, what he's saying to the woman is, wow, I've put you through the dating stage, the friendship stage, the sex stage, and you're still here. I'm going to promote you because I see you're adding so much value to my life. I feel like I can't live without you. So in order for us to make this official, I'm going to propose that we do this for the rest of our life. What do you say? And he's going to lay out the terms and conditions, which might include, hey, even though we're married, I'm still the king of the world, which means I still want to explore my options, but you're still going to get all of the benefits that you've been getting from the beginning. What do you say? And she goes, yes. And then they get married. And she's living a wonderful life and he's exploring, but she still gets the wonderful life. He's consistent in what he's supposed to do as a husband. Now, not every man is able to do this. This is why they cause dysfunction in the relationship and in the marriage. But it's in a man's nature to want an abundance of options. What's happening, what we've been experiencing is men are straying away from their natural masculine alpha energy. And they are succumbing and subscribing to society and feminine behaviors, which tells them, I know you're a billionaire. I know you own 20 homes and you have a private jet, but I want you to stick to this one woman who knows if she's been a part of your journey this entire time, but it's the one woman that you decide to commit to. Be sure not to engage with any other women, okay, king of the world? And it just doesn't work for a lot of guys.
Cheyenne, while you were talking, I could see Lori backstage with her head in her hands. What was that? What was that, Lori?
We really, I respect you tremendously. We completely disagree on this. And I respect the heck out of you. It upsets me. It upsets me I understand where you're going with that men, in their 20s and their 30s, they want to procreate and build a community, which is in our natural environment and in our DNA. But my belief is when you settle down with someone, you are honoring that woman to be your wife, to be the only woman who you put your attention and love towards. And I think it's completely unacceptable to go into a marriage thinking, well, I'm the king of the world. I can put my you-know-what wherever I want to put my you-know-what. And I don't think people should enter into marriage if that's what they're going to do.
And
That's
now we
my
know.
opinion.
And now we know why guys are not entering marriage.
Yeah.
I have to say this, that what Cheyenne described, I've seen over and over again. I don't know that they went into the marriage with that idea, but as time went on, yes, I am king of the hill. Yes, I did acquire all this. I'm still going to take care of you. But I'm bored and I'm going to go over here for a little while because I can. And what typically happens, we've seen it over and over again, especially with celebrities or people who have certain status in the world. The woman knows. She knows it's an arrangement. She doesn't want to give up what she has because she has it so good. She just is going to look the other way. Yeah.
That doesn't feel so good to me. That she's getting material things in exchange for her soul. That's my opinion.
But if it's fine for her, though, then it works for her.
Yeah, we all have free will.
We do. I'm going to be quiet.
No. It's good to have.
I enjoy the exchange, and I enjoy hearing the other perspective. And I'm all about learning and sharing and evolving. But to the point, that Dr. Jacalyn was making, there are some men who do not communicate to the woman that this is how it's going to be. And then they find out later on, oh, this is how it's going to be. I didn't realize it. But what I recommend to men is to communicate, to give her a choice. Give her a choice. And if she chooses to be a part of that, then again, it goes back to free will. If she chooses, I do not want to be a part of this, then she can go back to being single. And there are men out there who do want to be with just one woman. But then you have to ask yourself, is this the type of man I want? The man that a lot of women are not interested in, don't really want. He doesn't have a whole lot of options. He's not the king of the world. He's more the king of catering to me. A lot of women think that that's what they want. But then when they get the guy, she's bored to death with him because he's doing everything right. He does everything so perfect that it drives her crazy. She's like, where's the adventure? Where's the mystery? Where's the excitement? Dr. Jacalyn?
Yes. No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I've seen it. I've lived it. It's true. It exists.
Lori, there are a lot of men out there who are exactly what I think you're looking for and what you like. There are a lot of men, and I'll speak as a man, there are a lot of men like that who are underappreciated, undervalued.
Agreed. And I'm going to jump in, Cheyenne, and say that men between the height of 5'7" and 5'9" are a completely unappreciated tribe of men. Because every woman that I have ever match made with wants a guy over 6 feet, even if they're 4'11". So guys, I'm 5'8". So guys that are my height, I am happy, very happy about that, because they try harder. Nobody wants. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad.
And I made a video about this recently, that you simply need to know the type of man that you're attracted to. Do you want the king of the world? Because the king of the world, that comes with a high price.
Yep. I was married to the king of the world, and he couldn't have been more of an asshole. So I do not want the king of the world anymore. That's why it's affecting me so much.
Right. Hey, but at least you made a decision. So now when you bring your energy out into the world, You're going to see the king of the world and you're going to say bye-bye. And you're going to see the other guy, the guy that you actually want and are attracted to and is more alignment with your personality and your desires. And you're going to say hello. He's going to say hello back. And it's going to be a perfect union.
Right here.
When you find the king of the world, just send them my way, because that's what I'm always attracted to. And I've said this before. I haven't gone out with anyone in 18 months. And part of the reason that I don't is because I always am attracted to the same guy. It's the king of the world, and it doesn't work out. So to your point, and the coaching that you give people, Cheyenne, which I think is so great, it's being realistic and letting go, that's hard for me, because especially if the attraction's there, it's difficult. So I just stay in my little cocoon and don't venture out.
Yes, the scarcity versus the abundance mindset, or the catch and release, is so important. So right now we have, let's say if I'm into blondes, right? And let's say there's not a lot of blondes in Brooklyn, and I see a blonde and I put all of my energy into her because I'm telling myself, which is a lie, I'm telling myself, I don't know when I'm going to see another blonde again. There isn't enough blondes around here. I don't know if I'm ever going to have this opportunity. Already from the very beginning, I'm losing. I'm losing because of the mindset that I'm going into it with. Ladies, when you see a guy, he's fit, he's handsome, he's over 6 feet, he drives a luxury vehicle, or he works out a lot, whatever it is, understand that there are a million of him. If he's not who you need him to be on the inside, he's the wrong guy. So get to know the guy and make sure he's in alignment with what you want and who you are. If not, here's what I want you to do. I want you to give yourself a nice little squat down, and then pick the man up and throw the whole man away. Throw the whole man away, because you need to understand that there are more men just like him and better.
We used to say in our age group, I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair.
Love it.
You know, Cheyenne, I hear what you're saying, and I can go back to myself when I was dating people, and I can just see myself still holding on, like, this doesn't work, this doesn't feel good, this is wrong, but this, and this, I'm never going to find anyone with this, and this, even though there's a list of things that are hurting. And yes, so it's you brought it to light for me. Thank you.
Next.
Exactly. Evolve and go in and out. In, no, yes, no, yes, just like that. Just every day, new guy. And I want you to have fun with this, ladies. Have fun with it. Start talking to guys every day. When you go to the bank, hey, how are you? It could be the security guy. It doesn't matter. Just get in a habit of creating that energy between you and the opposite sex on a regular, consistent basis. And know that you have the power to attract people in abundance. You are a magnet. You need to decide before you leave your house, is my magnet turned on? Is my magnet at 100%? When I wake up in the morning, I meditate, I put on my feel-good music, I'm watering my plants, I'm singing, I'm dancing, I put a little food in my body, I might go for a run, then go work out. I'm feeling good, and it's not even 8 a.m. yet. So imagine the level of energy I'm going to have when I finally say hello to a woman. She's going to be like, whoa, what are you so happy about? Why are you vibrating so high? Why are you giving off such energy? But I'm looking for reciprocity. If she sends this energy back, it's on and popping. If not, what do we do? To the left, just like Beyonce said.
Next.
Because there are plenty more. There's a lot. You have to look at yourself as valuable. So just imagine if you have in this hand a pile of dirt, right? Which has extreme value, but not a lot of people realize that. And then you have a pile of money. Either way, you have to present yourself as if you are a gift to someone's life. So when you're saying hello, when you're asking about how they're doing and showing interest and they don't receive you well, all you have to say to yourself is that person doesn't see my value. So it's going to be easy to get them out of the way and on to the next person.
Cheyenne, you have brought so many great gems here today. I love it. We have to have you back again. And this is a terrific interview. If you can let our audience, the viewers and the listeners know the best way to get in touch with you, people cannot read your banner if they're listening on Business Talk Radio.
First of all, thank you so much for having me on. It was a great pleasure. I enjoyed talking to you ladies, and I look forward to doing it again very, very soon. My name is Cheyenne Bostock, life and relationship expert. You can connect with me on my website at CheyenneBostock.com, or you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube at Cheyenne Bostock. If you're interested in learning more about how to attract your ideal mate, I highly recommend getting my book bundle of Food, Sex, and Peace of Mind, What a Woman Needs to Know to Keep a Man, and Dating Manual for Single Women, 30 Steps to Take Before a First Date. That's available at CheyenneBostock.com/books. Catch me every Wednesday going live for Free Advice Wednesday. If you want to go live with me and I answer your questions right there on the air, follow me on all of my social media platforms, and I'll catch you there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for being such a great guest, and we will welcome you back with open arms.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Till next time.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn.
You're welcome, Lori. I know you have to run. Do you want to share with people how they can get in touch with you?
At smartfunnysingle.com, smartfunnysingle on Instagram, and on Clubhouse. I have the room Single Over 50 and at Dating App Writer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Lori, I'll see you later. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we've got a couple of comments. I want to say hello to, where did the comments go? I want to say hello to Adam Duval, watching, listening from the UK. Hello and a good evening to all of you. It's nice to have you here. And also to Raipan Sarkar. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. We've had a beautiful week so far of broadcasting. We're coming back live tomorrow. Our shows start at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 2 p.m. British Summer Time. I'll just read through the shows, and you can go to our website, drjacalyn.com, to get the times. We start off with The Power of Etiquette and Manners, and from there we go to fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. Then we have the United Kitchens, then Stories of Hope, then the Listening Mentor, and we finish the day and week off with presenting Pet Psychic Amina. So that's a wrap for this week. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our shows, please do go to our website, drjacalyn.com, and you can book your session there. As we close out, I'm going to play a beautiful video. It's by ILO. And you can get it. You can download Heroes in Disguise by ILO, ILO, over on iTunes. Thanks again.